Being as the personal spirit. What should we do? We have all had experience as the personal spirit. There is no one of us who has not at one time or another turned his face away from everything the heart can promise or threaten, and looking up has declared, "Oh Spirit, all this is nothing if there is not something bigger than this and beyond." It is not difficult to appreciate the personal nature of spirit, as it is to prevent the mistaken idea that spirit acts within the limits of human personality, as it is ordinarily conceived. You or I, for example, often feel ourselves impelled by circumstances to do something that we would have preferred not to do. Necessity seemed laid upon us through this really comes as the consequence of previous choices. But spirit acts with perfect freedom, though always within the law of his being, that is, his choices never embarrass him afterwards, though he himself cannot violate his own law or even be conceived of as desiring to do so. Again, we have only a limited knowledge of things, so that we often make mistakes through the partialness of our knowledge. This brings unhappiness and poverty. But spirit must know all intuitively and at once. Beginning and end are one with him. Then we think of ourselves as distinctly different from other selves, and in a sense apart from them. So we hate some and love others. My spirit, as the absolute self, must include us with him himself, and could not think of himself as apart from us, but only apart with us. We, as selves, have a sense of time and space, in absolute being. There can be no time nor space, because space denotes that which is limited, and time denotes that which is incomplete, and spirit is fully conscious of freedom and completeness. What we have just said refers to spirit, of course, as a unique self, and by this I mean a self that is conscious of itself as a unit. If spirit can think of himself as a unit, then he can think of himself. So we cannot get away from the fact that if we would, and we would not if we could, the spirit is he who has a heart of tenderness, a mind of love, a nature of wisdom, a power that can execute his commands, he knows and loves. It is apparent, therefore, that while spirit shares in our experience of thinking, feeling, and willing, still he is never limited as we are. He knows all that is necessary to be known to answer our every problem. He loves us enough to want to answer it. He has sufficient direct contact with us to make his will effective. He is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we ask or think, said the great apostle. We must therefore insist on thinking of spirit in a complete way, not in a partial, for otherwise we shall return to the old way of attributing to him likes and dislikes, sometimes willing as good and other times sending as evil. Note these two facts, and we shall avoid further trouble. First, give to spirit every attribute of personality that will not interfere with his absoluteness. Purpose, thinking, willing, and feeling are his. Second, nothing in the personality of spirit shall ever be construed as denying personal choice to the individual. It becomes even more impersonal to our will and choice than our friends do. And its purposes are so vast as to constitute law which we can depend upon, as never opposing a will to our own. Let us therefore mention the three ways in which spirit is personal and how its personal nature differs from our own. You want to add something for this video? Huh? You want to add something? Basino? Basino piccolino? No. Ciao, ciao a tutti.